Today we're talking about the new Hulu film, Bad Hair. So let's get started. In 1989, an ambitious young woman gets a weave in order to succeed in the image-obsessed world of music television. However, her flourishing career may come at a great cost when she realizes that her new hair may have a mind of its own. Welcome back, everybody, to another Halloween special. Today we're talking about the new Hulu film, Bad Hair. That synopsis I just read to you seems kind of fun, right? A weave that has a mind of its own. You would think a film that has that synopsis, which also stars Usher, Rowland, James Van Der Beek, and Jay Pharoah, you would think that it's a comedy. It's a straight, bizarre horror comedy. It's not. It's an interesting film. On one hand, I really like the horror aspect of it. Bloody. This weave that is taking control of this woman. There's a huge backstory with it, and it's murdering people. I was all for that. But if you look on IMDb, it's classified as a horror comedy, a satire. And it was not funny at all. I did not find this movie to be one bit hilarious. I'm okay with it not being a comedy or a satire. Just don't label it as that. Because I went into it thinking, okay, a movie about a killer weave. Oh, there's Usher and James Van Der Beek. And maybe it's going to be a pretty fun film. And to an extent it is. But I think going into it, you have this idea that it's going to be a slapstick. It's going to be a goofy horror film, and it's not that at all. This reminds me of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode, Killer Toupee, where Snake was about to be executed and his hair escapes and it lands on Homer's head, and he becomes a killer just like Snake. It reminded me of that episode. But this is directed by Justin Simien. I can tell there's a message within this film, and the message I think is pretty strong in the movie, where women try to look beautiful, they do their hair, all for the approval of higher up people in their job to have a successful career. And the young woman in here, Anna, played by Elle Lorraine, doesn't want to have a weave or any different hairstyle than she has because her scalp was burned when she was younger and she feels comfortable with herself. But she is pressured into getting a weave, and this killer weave, and she starts to have things come for her within her job. She starts to have a lot of promotions and a lot of opportunities within her career. So I understand the message that women are pressured into looking beautiful for their job, and that will help them with their career. And women shouldn't subject themselves to that. And I feel like that message was very strong within this movie, while having those really bloody, violent scenes within here of this hair taking control of knives and different objects and killing people. I thought the horror aspect of it and the message within it were very strong, and I do think that it's not funny, and if you look at it, it's labeled as a comedy, and it's just not funny. I can't tell if they were trying to be funny or ironic. I'm not sure. I don't think it didn't come off like that for me at all. I thought it was just a straight horror film with a unique story about a killer weave. The young actress in here, Elle Lorraine, is very convincing in her role, very disturbed, and her reactions felt very genuine to getting a killer weave. Vanessa Williams is great in the movie as well. Justin Simien is able to balance that complex story with the horror elements and not going into the route of absurdity and not making it really bizarre and really dumb. I easily could have seen this movie taking that route. I was glad with how Justin Simien was able to approach this film and bring the horror elements forth, and felt very strong while having that message flown throughout the movie. This is a really interesting film. The plot alone really drew me into the movie, and the cast is really good. Like I said, Usher appears in here, and Vanessa Williams. We have Jay Pharoah from SNL in this movie. Not everybody has a strong performance or a lot to do with in the film, but I think it was cool to see different actors and actresses I knew pop up in the movie. So this is a fun Hulu horror film. Don't go into it expecting an absurd satire comedy of a horror film. It's not that at all. Towards the end of the movie, it does get a bit ridiculous and a little bit over the top. But I think most of the film, it's really intense and disturbing at times. And let me tell you, if clumps of wet hair gross you out as much as it does me, I would avoid some early scenes in the movie. I'm going to go ahead and give Bad Hair a B. Thank you guys for checking my review for Bad Hair, the new Hulu horror film. Have you guys seen it? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And stay tuned for more up and coming videos. My name is Just Watches Movies. And you guys stay classy, YouTube.